The year is 2025. Jakarta hums with the vibrant pulse of a digital age. Towers of glass and steel pierce the sky. Yet, amidst this modernity, an old spirit stirs. Imagine, if you will, Bung Karno, the proclamator, walking these streets again. His eyes, though aged, still hold that fire, the fire that ignited a nation. He sees the streams of data flowing like the Tsiliwung. He sees the young faces, bright with screens, yet searching for meaning, for a purpose beyond the fleeting trends. He would stand at Monas, not just a monument of stone, but a symbol reborn, a testament to a struggle that continues. The air, thick with the exhaust of a million vehicles, also carries whispers of hope, whispers of change. Bung Karno would breathe it all in. The heart of Indonesia, he would declare, remains the same. Bung Karno was a lion of the podium. His words could move mountains. They could ignite revolutions. In this digital age, his stage would expand. Beyond the grand squares, beyond the packed stadiums, his voice would echo in the digital wind, through smartphones, through social media feeds, through live streams reaching millions in an instant. He would craft digital orations, powerful narratives that blend his fiery rhetoric with the visual language of the internet. He would understand the power of a viral message, the reach of a shared ideal. He would master the algorithms that shape discourse. He would use these platforms to speak directly to the marhaen, the common people, unfiltered, unmediated by those who seek to twist his words. Imagine his speeches, broadcast live, not just audio, but with compelling visuals, testimonies from farmers, aspirations of students, the struggles of workers. Pancasila, the five pillars, the soul of the Indonesian nation, Bung Karno's greatest gift. In this era of rapid technological change, of global interconnectedness, some might ask, is Pancasila still relevant? Bung Karno would answer with a resounding yes, but not a static Pancasila, not a relic of the past. He would speak of Pancasila 5.0, a dynamic interpretation, a living ideology, ready to guide Indonesia through the complexities of the 21st century. He would show how each sila finds new meaning, new urgency, in the digital age. This would be his compass. Ketuhanan yang Maha Esa, the belief in one supreme God. In an age of diverse digital spiritualities, and sometimes online religious intolerance, Bung Karno would champion a faith that is inclusive, a faith that promotes respect. He would use digital platforms to foster interfaith dialogue, to showcase the beauty of Indonesia's religious harmony. He would warn against the misuse of religion for political division, emphasizing that true faith builds bridges, not walls. Technology, he would argue, must serve this higher purpose, to connect souls, not to isolate them in echo chambers of hatred. Bung Karno always championed progress, but progress for whom? Not for the elite, not for foreign interests, but for the marhaen, for the common people of Indonesia. In the digital era, his vision would remain steadfast. Technology, including artificial intelligence, would not be an end in itself. It would be a tool, a powerful instrument to uplift the nation, to achieve true self-reliance. Berdikari, he would ensure that Indonesia does not merely consume technology, but becomes a creator, an innovator, a master of its own technological destiny. This is the path for real independence. He would look at AI, not with fear but with strategic foresight. How can AI serve the Indonesian farmer? By predicting weather patterns, optimizing crop yields. How can AI improve healthcare in remote islands? By aiding in diagnostics. Section 5. Against the New Lords, Justice in the Age of Algorithms. Bung Karno fought against the old lords, the colonial masters, the feudal oppressors. In the 21st century, new lords have emerged. Oligarchs who control vast digital empires, corporations that monopolize data, algorithms that perpetuate bias and inequality. Bung Karno, the champion of the small man, would once again rise to the challenge. He would declare war on this new form of exploitation. He would fight for social justice in the age of algorithms. His voice would thunder against the concentration of digital power in the hands of a few. This is a fight for the soul of our economy. He would scrutinize the gig economy, the platform workers. Are they truly independent entrepreneurs? Or are they a new class of exploited labor, denied basic rights, subject to the whims of opaque algorithms? Bung Karno would demand fairness, decent wages, social protection for these digital workers. He would support the formation of digital cooperatives, empowering workers to collectively bargain. Section 6. The People's Economy, Trisakti in the Digital Marketplace. Trisakti. Bung Karno's powerful formula, sovereign in politics, self-reliant in economy, and with character and culture. How would this translate to the digital age, especially in the realm of economics? Bung Karno would see the digital marketplace not as a threat, but as an immense opportunity. An opportunity to build a truly people-centered economy. An economy that serves the many, not the few. He would champion digital platforms that empower small businesses, micro-entrepreneurs, the very backbone of the Indonesian economy. The Marhaen of the modern era. This is self-reliance in action. He would push for the development of national e-commerce platforms. Platforms that prioritize local products, that connect Indonesian farmers directly to consumers, cutting out exploitative middlemen. He would encourage the use of digital payment systems, but with a focus on security and accessibility for all, even those in rural areas. He would see the potential of the creative economy. Indonesian artists, musicians, designers, reaching global audiences through digital channels. But he would ensure they are fairly compensated, that their intellectual property is protected. This is economic sovereignty in the digital sphere. Berdikari in technology would be paramount. Bung Karno would not want Indonesia to be merely a consumer of foreign software, a market for imported gadgets. Section 7. Weaving Unity. Bhinneka Tunggal Ika in the social media era. Bhinneka Tunggal Ika. Unity in diversity. The motto that binds our archipelago. A nation of 1,000 islands. 1,000 cultures, 1,000 tongues. In the age of social media, this unity faces new tests. Echo chambers can amplify division, misinformation can sow discord, hate speech can fester in the dark corners of the internet. Bung Karno, the great unifier, would recognize this challenge. He would dedicate himself to weaving the threads of unity, using the very tools that threaten to tear us apart. His leadership would be a masterclass in digital nation building. He would not shy away from the complexities of social media. He would engage. He would inspire. He would launch national campaigns, celebrating the richness of Indonesia's diverse cultures, using compelling visuals, heartfelt stories, music that transcends language barriers. He would encourage digital dialogues between different communities, fostering empathy, understanding. He would champion media literacy programs, teaching citizens to critically evaluate online information, to recognize propaganda, to become responsible digital citizens. Ignorance, he knew, is the fertile ground for division. Education is the antidote. Section 8. A beacon to the world. Indonesia's voice on the global digital stage. Bung Karno was a towering figure on the world stage, a champion of the non-aligned movement, a voice for the oppressed nations. In the digital era, his vision for Indonesia's role in the world would be just as bold, just as inspiring. He would see the internet not just as a domestic tool, but as a new arena for international diplomacy, for projecting Indonesia's soft power, for advocating for a more just and equitable global order. He would ensure that Indonesia is not merely a passive recipient of global digital trends, but an active shaper of the future of the internet. He would use digital platforms to articulate Indonesia's foreign policy, to explain our stance on global issues, to build alliances with like-minded nations. Imagine Bung Karno addressing the United Nations, his speech live-streamed to millions around the world, calling for digital sovereignty for developing countries, warning against a new era of digital colonialism, where a few powerful nations or corporations control the flow of information, the infrastructure of the internet. He would champion a global internet governance model that is inclusive, democratic, and respects the diversity of cultures and political systems. Indonesia, under his leadership, would become a hub for digital innovation in the global south, sharing our expertise, collaborating on research, developing technologies that address the unique challenges faced by developing nations. He would promote South-South cooperation in the digital sphere, building bridges of solidarity, resisting the dominance of the tech giants from the north. He would argue that access to technology, access to information, is a fundamental human right, a prerequisite for development, for empowerment, for participation in the global community. His message to the world would be one of hope, of peaceful coexistence, of mutual respect. He would use Indonesia's rich cultural heritage, our art, our music, our stories, to build bridges of understanding, to showcase a different model of modernity, one that is not based on aggressive competition, but on harmony, on balance. Bung Karno's Indonesia would be a beacon, a source of inspiration for nations striving for independence, for dignity, for a voice in this increasingly interconnected world. His spirit, the spirit of Bandung, would resonate powerfully in the digital age, a call for a new world order, fairer, more just, more humane. For a life of meaning, a life of service.